It's been incredible. Here he comes again.
In order to stand out from the pack of the NBA, you need to have that special something. You need to be one of the few chosen, and besides hard work, you have to be born with that special gene that turns you into a freak. So in this video, we're going to take a look at 10 freaks of nature that were part of the NBA. But first, a simple reminder on how to enter our brand new giveaway. We will be giving away either an iPhone X Max, the new iPad mini, or a MacBook Pro. It's all your choice. So be sure to leave a like, comment the keyword, subscribe, and turn on notifications to enter the giveaway. It's really that simple. Kicking off this list is Dwight Howard. We all agree that Dwight Howard's talent pretty much went down the drain, and he's never going to fulfill his true potential and become one of the most dominant big men ever, but still, there's simply no denying the gifts nature gave him. He's undersized, but stronger than pretty much every big man in the league, let alone his freakish athleticism, and a 40-inch vertical jump for a guy his size, something that always made him stand out from the pack. Next up is Russell Westbrook. You may not like some things about Russell Westbrook's game, but come on, he's one of the fastest, most explosive players we have ever seen. He was the fastest player in the world before John Wall reached his prime, and his 36.5-inch vertical gives him the chance to pretty much posterize everybody. He's one of the best rebounding point guards in the world, even before Steven Adams handed him most of his boards to help him average a triple-double. And according to various colleagues, he's the most athletic player to have ever set foot on NBA hardwood. Lakers legend Kobe Bryant and NBA GMs agree. Russell Westbrook is the most athletic player in the league. The point guard has become a triple-double machine like no one's seen since Oscar Robertson, with his combination of speed, strength, and agility, making him a firecracker of explosiveness in just a 6'3", 187-pound frame. Westbrook can go coast to coast with breakneck speed and a slam dunk to emphasize the play, block former teammate Kevin Durant, who is taller than Westbrook by 6 inches, and come through with a clutch steal to help his team win in the playoffs. There's nothing this guy can't do with his natural talent on the court. Next up is Spud Webb. Most young fans may not remember Spud Webb, one of the shortest players to ever lace up and set foot on NBA hardwood. Standing at just 5'7", you know this guy had to be something special in order to succeed among giants. Webb was a crafty playmaker and even a solid off-ball defender at times, but what made him even more impressive is the fact that he actually had a 46-inch vertical jump and could even throw 360 dunks and finish alley-oops. He even won a dunk contest. Webb was the shortest person to compete in the NBA Slam Dunk Contest, winning the event in 1986 at Dallas's Reunion Arena. His participation surprised the media, including his teammate and defending dunk champion Dominique Wilkins, who had, quote, "never seen me dunk before," Webb said. His dunks included the elevator two-handed double pump dunk, the off-the-backboard one-handed jam, a 360-degree helicopter one-handed dunk, a reverse double pump slam, and finally, the reverse two-handed strawberry jam from a lob bounce off the floor. Next is Magic Johnson. There will never be another Magic Johnson. There simply won't. We're talking about a 6'9" point guard that could block a shot, grab the board, run the break, and throw a skip pass in about a couple seconds. Johnson was a walking triple-double threat and the most dominant point guard we've ever seen, not to mention his incredible playmaking ability. He was pretty much a small forward, running the point on ways that nobody had ever done. Seems hard to believe Johnson played only 12 seasons before retiring following the discovery that he had tested positive for HIV. He then returned 5 years later for an interlude in which he averaged 14.9 points and 6.9 assists in nearly half a season for a 53-win team. Blank power forward, well over his point guard weight. But in those first 12 seasons, Johnson appeared in the NBA Finals 9 times, and the Lakers won 5 championships. Next, we have Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant always drew a lot of hate because of the fact that he was a little bit of a tweener for a big man, being considered as much as a skinny guy that could shoot pretty well. Needless to say, he's found the way to use his huge wingspan to become a top-tier rim protector. Listed at 6'11", most people believe he's actually a 7-footer. He doesn't have much of a vertical jump but moves very quickly and with the same agility as most guards. Not to mention the fact that he's an incredibly prolific shooter for a guy his size. Standing at 6'11", Durant is always going to be a matchup nightmare at the small forward position. There simply isn't any defender equipped to bother his jump shot and stay with him from a lateral quickness standpoint. Of course, we needed to include Michael Jordan on this list. Michael Jordan was definitely not human. He had the most competitive mentality in the history of the game, even ahead of Kobe Bryant. Not to mention the fact that he had the quickest first step basketball has ever seen. Jordan was able to guard 1 through 5 with great ease and was always the most determined player in the league. Also, he had a 46-inch vertical and isn't known as Air Jordan out of pure grace, as he made a living out of embarrassing guys with his emphatic and athletic dunks from the charity stripe. In the 1988-89 season, perhaps Jordan's best statistical campaign, he led the league with 32.5 points per game, was 10th in assists with a career-high 8 per game, and had a career-high 8 rebounds a game. He also ranked 3rd in steals with nearly 3 per game. Jordan propelled the Bulls past the Cavs in the first round of the playoffs in the decisive Game 5, scoring a memorable buzzer-beater floating jumper over Craig Elo for a 101-100 victory. What a beast. Next up is the literal Greek freak, Giannis Antetokounmpo. Giannis isn't called the Greek freak just because it rhymed. Giannis is perfectly built for the game of basketball, as he could easily play or guard all 5 spots on the court with great ease. To put it in perspective, he's as tall as Dwight Howard, but moves as smoothly as a guard. The Greek freak can dunk from the free throw line and run a fast break with just a couple of steps due to his incredible wingspan. He's long, athletic, and getting stronger by the day, and he'll go down as one of the most explosive players in his era for sure. Also, his hands are about 12 inches long. The Greek freak is, well, an athletic freak, with his natural talent and ability to play all 5 positions on the basketball court and handle his own against anyone. At 6'11", 220 pounds, Antetokounmpo has the size to block and defend nearly any player and the speed and agility to get down the court on a fast break. Giannis's legs are so long, it only takes him 1 dribble to make up half the court on a dunk. He also has the vertical ability to slam it home from the free throw line with 1 hand. Next we have LeBron James. LeBron James is a 6'8" guy that's almost 260 pounds of pure muscle, and he's pretty much stronger than most human beings. He's also been known for being a point forward for his entire career, and the fact that he's always had his team's playbook at the back of his head has always made him a coach in the hardwood. James has a 40-inch vertical and even thrived at football during his high school years. He's got the ability to pretty much jump over centers and posterize everybody, as well as the skill set and the intelligence to play all 5 spots on the court. At 6'8", 250 pounds, James is built like an NFL linebacker, but he has the speed and agility of a running back or point guard on the basketball court. James has played every position on the floor at one point during his career, and there's really nothing he can't do when it comes to basketball. James is just as good of a defensive player as he is an offensive one, making him the most versatile and athletic player in the NBA, maybe of all time, but certainly of the modern era. Next is Shaquille O'Neal. Shaquille O'Neal, standing 7'1" with a 38-inch vertical, is simply the most dominant big man in the history of the game. A guy that actually hurt his rivals when they were trying to send him to the line, and that shattered backboards as if they were made of salt. Nobody could outwork Shaq. He was the most athletic, explosive, and strongest player in the world during his prime, and he could pretty much lift weights that were heavier than most of his teammates. Also, he had a ballerina-like footwork and was incredibly gifted in the offensive end to complement his physical gifts. In 1992, O'Neal was the first overall pick by the Orlando Magic during the 1992 NBA Draft. He played with them from 92 to 96. Within the first week of his debut, he was named Player of the Week, which made him the first player ever to be awarded the title within 1 week. He went on to make an average of 23.4 points on 56.2% shooting with 13.9 rebounds, including 3.5 blocks in a game during his first season of play. In 1993, his unbelievable skills and overall performance ultimately earned him the NBA Rookie of the Year award. And first place goes to Wilt Chamberlain. Wilt Chamberlain looked more like a circus freak than a basketball player, and he was even a part of the Harlem Globetrotters before making it to the league. He dominated every opposition as a taller, stronger, more athletic, and just physically gifted player that even played professional volleyball right after he retired from the NBA. Chamberlain even enjoyed climbing to rooftops and jumping from one to the other, just because he could. As a matter of fact, the NBA actually had to change a lot of rules in order to make the game fairer for everybody who played against him, but they failed. as he was the most unstoppable player on the court every time he played. We're talking about a guy that dislocated a man's shoulder by blocking his shot. By the time he retired in 1973, Chamberlain had amassed an amazing array of career statistics. He had played in 1,045 games and achieved an average of 30.1 points per game, the NBA points per game record until Michael Jordan broke it in 1998. All of these players are outstanding in their own way. However, they have something in common, and that is that all of them really are freaks of nature compared to other players. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks for watching.